So it is definitely an acronym. Most people are familiar with SMART goals in the business
Yeah.
world, like specific, measure, action, label, time about. And like I said, having been in that business world doing those things was very much familiar with that.
Hmm.
Then that next phrase, like you said, work smarter, not harder. So grew up with the expectation of always having to be on your A game, getting A's, you got to be smart.
Yeah.
Heck, my nickname was Brain. I mean, so that gives you some idea of what the expectation was. But I realized I found myself being a human doing versus a human being.
Right.
And that's where I became overwhelmed because I was working so hard, but I wasn't taking time out to live smart. So it's like, okay, how can I do this efficiently? How can I do this better? And so that's where it came to be this system. So the first one is see yourself and awaken.
Hmm.
Like I was sharing before, who is Felicia?
Yeah.
Why are you not happy? Where my name literally means happy. Most people are very familiar with the whole phrase "Bye Felicia," but that's from that movie Friday, and Ice Cube made that very popularized. But what people didn't really know if they hadn't seen the movie is that Felicia just was this drug addict, and
Right.
she was always being dismissed. That's why they were saying bye. It was like, go away.
Yeah.
But I was like, I didn't want to be dismissed. I'm not that perception. I don't do drugs and all those different things. And so that used to be a trigger for me.
Hmm.
So I had to figure out, whoa, who are you, Felicia? Like, okay, your name means happy. So basically, if anybody's saying bye, Felicia, all they're saying is bye, happy. But that
Right.
sent me on a journey to learn more about what are your character values? What are your strengths?
Yeah.
What does your name, mean in numerology, astronomy? Like find out more about who you are so that no one can take that away from you. You have the confident knowing. So that's where the see yourself and awaken comes from.
Yeah.
The M is master your emotions. I had to learn how to mastermind. If those you're not being able to see me, I am an African American female. So I had to come up with these expectations that you always have to be on your A game, you always have to be doing things well. The emotions, you would squash those. So, like, just say if I was angry, I would squash that because I didn't want to be categorized as the mad Black woman.
Hmm.
So you would just kind of get like a poker face. I also have a military background that I grew up with, and it was about not so much your emotions, but let's focus on the goal, right?
Yeah.
You got to achieve that. You got to put the flag on the mountain. You got to keep it moving. You don't have time for emotions. You don't have time for all that. Just get the job done. And so I had to realize that, hey, what are you feeling in this moment? And learning to put words to that. Are you angry? Are you frustrated? Are you bored? Are you envious, jealous, fearful,
Yeah.
doubtful? Learn to know what I was feeling. So then that way I can know how to interact and engage and be true to who I am, which is Felicia, see yourself and awaken.
Yeah.
Then I had to learn how to ask, believe, and receive myself. And what that means is that a lot of times when you ask somebody, well, what do you want? They don't tell you what they want. They'll start with the
Hmm.
explanation of what they don't want.
Right.
And it was like, well, Felicia, what do you want? Because you remember I told you, like I had this whole vision of what I thought my life was going to be, and it's different. So what do you want right now? But then, do you believe you can receive it? That's where the whole imposter syndrome will come in. Like, do
Yeah.
you really think that you can have this career? Do you really think you can, have this life that you're envisioning, that you're asking for? But you're like, oh, but that'll never happen. So I had to learn how to receive the things. Like, yes, pause, say thank you. I'm absolutely worthy of having those things. Yes, I can do that. So I had to learn how to navigate all of
Yeah.
that, right? And then the next one, I had to learn how to relax, relate, and
Hmm.
release. That was a message that was loud and clear for me back from the show, Different World. Because it was like I said, I was busy doing, working,
Yeah.
working, working, working. And I had to learn how to relax, and that includes, meditations, like what that looks like for me, because it looks like different things for a lot
Hmm.
for everyone,
Yeah.
right? I had to learn how to look at the whole big picture of what this life was. What does this mean? What does this sign mean? I keep saying this, I keep saying that. It must be something to that. And then I had to learn to release some things, which means from forgiveness, forgiving myself, forgiving others, what was no longer serving me. I had to figure all that out.
Right.
So then that way I can live this life that's smart.
Yeah.